Welcome back to another edition of Two Up Front, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Baxter Colburn. We have an opportunity now here in our women's soccer spotlight to have a chance to speak with Blue F.C. head coach Christy Holly. Right now, his ladies are doing a very good job so far in the NWSL after the season just opened here just recently. They got a win week 1 against the Seattle Reign, and now they look to carry that momentum going forward. He's got a talented group of ladies, and we're excited to have a chance to speak with them. Coach Holly, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. It's great to be on the show.
You are welcome, sir. So right off the bat, last week you get a big victory against the Seattle Reign opening day. You turned a lot of heads. How did you feel overall after that victory was in the book?
It was good to get it under our belt. I mean, going into the game, we knew what the objectives were and what we wanted to achieve. And, we were absolutely delighted with the final score. But, we don't get too carried away. We know that it required a bit of luck, and we put in a good shift. But we know Seattle's definitely a very good team, and we respect them. So, we'll take the 3 points, we'll take the good moments, and we'll work on the bad moments, and, prepare ourselves for this weekend against Washington.
How do you take a victory like this against a team that anybody that follows the NWSL and try to almost treat it like it's any other day at the office? Because beating a team like Seattle is a little bit bigger than beating a team, that might not be as well established or carry as many big guns. Did you kind of have to downgrade the win a little bit for your ladies?
I mean, going into the game, we spent the last week of preseason really gearing towards Seattle and focusing on what Seattle did, their strengths, their weaknesses, and we definitely went into the game knowing that if we wanted to get anything out of it, we needed to be at the top of our game. So we were delighted in terms of the application and the effort throughout the game. And we definitely let the players know that. But it's also really important that, it's very easy to get excited and carried away by it. So the main thing is that we don't get complacent, and we use that as a great foundation to move forward. Through our practice this week, we focused on some of the moments within the game that, we could do better. But all the credit goes to the girls, because we as a team sat down, talked about what we wanted to do, and they're the ones who executed it.
And that's what you want to see overall, too. And I think that helps emulate what your game plan was going into the game as well. And this is your first official game as the head coach, so congratulations on starting off your career there 1-0, which I'm sure is great. But you've been around the team for a couple of years. You were an assistant for 3 seasons, is that correct?
Yes. So I was fortunate enough to be around the club for quite some time. I worked with the reserve teams. I worked then with the first team in an assistant role. So, I was coming in, I had quite a level of familiarity. We had quite a bit of turnover during the off-season. Some players, came to a point in their career where they were looking for a little bit of change, and they had to do what was best for them. So we used that opportunity to, start fresh and wipe the slate clean, and really try to put out a team that's going to represent the club and the state very well. Absolutely,
and so far you guys have done a fantastic job of that. Was there any nerves at all when you got that call saying, hey, Christy, you're going to be the head coach now?
I think it's natural to be a little bit excited, but I don't know if it's my personality or what it is, but I think as soon as I found out about it, my focus was more, rather than talk about it, was really just to get the head down and see what we needed to do to be successful, because I knew that it's a bit of a project. There's a lot that we have to do, and, it's very easy to get excited, but you have to keep your eye on the goal, at the end of the day, and if we want to be successful every day, we have to push ourselves.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, talking about keeping your eye on the goal, you have a lot of ladies on your team that know how to put the ball in the back of the net, one of which who's taken a couple of years off from the game and is now back, Tasha Kai. What's it like to have a gal like her on your team?
She's definitely a very unique player. She's a fantastic person, yep. Fantastic player, and she's definitely a personality that the media enjoy, the fans enjoy, the players enjoy. She's just she's a great person to have around, because she's as she's got a little bit older, she's definitely shown that level of maturity. But it is very important to me, and I speak to her quite a bit, is to let her be who she is. She has to be the best version of herself, and that's a really outgoing, bubbly person who's, likes pranks and likes to be involved with the laughs and etc. So,
Yep.
but that's kind of the personality side. But then as a soccer player, everybody knows a lot about Tash, and as pre-season's gone on, from a physical aspect, she has looked stronger, she's looked sharper, and we won't see the best of her for a few weeks yet. We're going to see spells, we'll see some moments, but we feel that it'll be a few more weeks before we can really get excited by what she can do on the field. But when she gets back to where she used to be, it's exciting for everybody. I think it's exciting for the league as well.
Exactly, yep, it is. It's almost like getting a present week one where you're like, ooh, I'm excited to see what happens to it, but then the present continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger as the season goes along.
Absolutely. I think it's a good statement, not just for Sky Blue, but for the league as we try to grow the women's game.
Yes,
it's great to see that the league's able to attract back some of the big name players who represent the country so well.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. When you talk about big name players, at least for fans that follow the United States women's national team, you have two ladies on your team in Kelly O'Hara and Christine Rampone that are household names for many U.S. soccer fans, especially Rampone as well. She's been around the game a long time. It's almost like having, would you say, like another coach on the field with having her around, with how much knowledge and experience she brings to the game? What does she bring to the team that you see?
The list is endless what Christy puts out there, in terms of her ability on the field as a central defender. It's second to none. I'm maybe a little bit biased, but I say she's still one of the best in the country, and if you're the best in America, then you're one of the best in the world.
And you yourself had the opportunity to play professionally as well a little bit in the top level of the Irish Premier League. Give us a little background about what Christy Holly was like back in his glory days.
I think the reason I coached is because I wasn't good enough to play.
Ah, okay.
I was very fortunate growing up. I was able to participate in many different sports and I guess see quite a level of success in it. But soccer was the one that, at a younger age, soccer was probably my third sport in terms of ability. But as I get older, I guess maybe it was something that I fell for the love of it rather than the success. But I was very fortunate that at a younger age I was able to play in the Irish League, and as a player, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed playing against myself, because it was I enjoyed the competition, I enjoyed the battle, and I was the guy that ensured that the good players could play.
Ah, okay. There you go.
So,
well, we all had our place, right? That's why
everybody.
Exactly.
Everybody has. That's it. As long as you know your role within the team, and I think my role was quite clear, which sit in the midfield and let the playmakers play, and stop let playmakers play.
There you go. Well, that's exactly what you want. So looking forward just to the rest of the season here, Coach. I know you're only a game under your belt right now, but the next couple of games are going to be quite an interesting slate for you. You play Washington, which is your home opener. Then you travel to Houston, and then you take on New York and Boston as well. So you're kind of hanging around there on the East Coast a little bit, so travel-wise isn't going to be too terrible aside for that little trip down to Houston. How do you prepare the next couple of games, knowing that you've got a lot of these games kind of in your backyard?
Yeah, we've got targets of what we want to achieve points-wise by certain parts of the season. And you look at the first 3 games of the season are actually against, with every team I say, one thing I noticed about this league is there's no such thing as an easy game. There's just no such thing, and you're guaranteed that, I guess maybe the weekend showed you that maybe we weren't fancy going into the game, and we showed that anybody on a given day can really step up and impact the game. So, as you prepare for the games, you just one game at a time, and the main thing is that we go in, we don't get complacent, and we don't get too carried away with any results. Well, it's a good result or a bad result. Keep focused on the process, and it's as I said after the game, it's just the first step.
Absolutely.
So we won against Seattle, and the win against Seattle is useless without backing it up against Washington. So.
One thing I'm curious to get your opinion about, something that my co-host and I and a couple other folks that I know that are around the NWSL on a fairly frequent basis, we heard this week that Houston is going to be hosting the NWSL Championship, which is fantastic, but at the same time, people are still a little upset because it's in an MLS stadium. And originally I didn't have a problem with that. I said, well, it's in a beautiful established MLS stadium. Do the women's teams need their own specific stadiums, or is it fine sharing with MLS teams, do you think?
I mean, ultimately, to continue to keep the NWSL moving and the momentum, the connection with the men's game is extremely important for the early success. But the long-term aim is to make sure that the NWSL can stand shoulder to shoulder with MLS. The MLS is a fantastic kind of prototype for us to follow and for us to try and match, because it has taken time, but over the years they have seen the success both financially and both in terms of the level of play. So it's a great benchmark for us to try and match. But in the early years we need it. We need to have that connection. But it is ambitious, but there's no reason we shouldn't be able to surpass. And given the success that the female national team has, and given the amount of female players there is within this country, but also attracted to come play here from other countries, it has to be sustainable first of all, but then it has to try and become profitable. And that's some of the challenges they face in the early stages. It is its fourth year, that's historic compared to what it has been. But I think one of the big things that the women's NWSL has going for it is, compared to the MLS, is the fact that the best players in the world are playing in America.
Yes, yep, exactly.
So with that statement in mind, they need to be given the best resources, and they need to be exposed to the high profile that they deserve. So with time, hopefully, the resources will get better, and the stadiums become, their own stadiums. And the training grounds will be their own training grounds, but in the early days, I think that MLS is a great support system for us, and something that we should learn from.
Yeah, and that's exactly kind of, I think, what a lot of folks are thinking right now. I know MLS Commissioner Don Garber came out and said that he hopes that at least half of the MLS teams will have some sort of a partnership with an NWSL team like Orlando, Houston, or Portland.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad idea, honestly. I think that certainly helps. We've seen that with USL teams as well for MLS, and that's really, I think, helped build the game. And right now we're just trying to continue to raise awareness about, soccer as a whole in America, and why not try to get that partnership right now,
Yeah, absolutely. And, the more roots we have in the communities, the more partnerships we have with various clubs at various levels will give us a better foundation to continue to grow upon. And you want every player and every team to become a household name. And at the end of the day, that's the MLS. They do have the finances that will allow them to attract in players such as your Declan's, your Gerrards, Robbie Keane. They've got finances to do that, but we've got the best players in their prime without the finances. So we've already got a great building block. It's just how we move forward from here.
Exactly. Well, Coach, we appreciate you taking the time today. Christy Holly, head coach of Sky Blue FC. Upcoming games against the Washington Spirit, Houston Dash, and Western New York Flash. 2 of those games are home games. If you are in the New Jersey area, go and check out the exciting product that Sky Blue is this season. Coach, good luck the rest of the way, and hopefully we can check in with you again later on in the season.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having us on the show and for the continued support.
I appreciate it.
Anything you guys need, just give us a call.
Will do. Thank you so much, Coach. All right, we're going to head to a break. When we come back, we've got more exciting action here on 2 Up Front right after this.